Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a familiar face from last season when he had a breakout year with the Bulls, and he continued that success this year, racking up record after record for Buffalo. I'm talking about Red Murdock. What's going on, Red?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. Happy to have you back on. I appreciate the autographed jersey that people can see in the background. Shout out to Athletes Thread. They got some great products on there. Got you and Marcus right next to it. Got some of your teammates saying that I need to get some of theirs also. So
Sure. Get a
might
whole
have a
Buffalo.
whole wardrobe of Buffalo jerseys here soon. But
Oh,
definitely excited to have yours up there, especially after an incredible season. You were putting numbers up every single game, one of the top linebackers in the country throughout the NCAA this past season. So congratulations on that. And I want to talk to people about your success just in this past season alone in a little segment that I like to call Rewind and Recap. This segment going to rewind the clock into this past season, obviously, and talk about everything that you've done. First of all, leading the NCAA in forced fumbles. You had 7 forced fumbles in just this season, which broke a Buffalo single season record. Ended up being named All MAC first team after being second in the country in tackles, only behind your own teammate in Sean Dolak. And you and Dolak both were named Hero Sports Group of Five first team All American. And at the end of the season, you guys went to the Bahamas, had some fun in the sun, got a big time win over Liberty, where you ended up being defensive MVP of that game. So, whole lot of accolades just this past season. And we talked last time I had you on how you had a breakout year. You were showing people what you could do. Ended up getting those sacks, a couple forced fumbles last season as well. This year you found a way to turn it up to even a higher level than before. What would you say really went into that production for yourself this past season?
most of it was more so growing mentally, being able to deeply understand the concepts that were being that all offenses run, a lot of universals, some stuff like that, and learning how to. I always watch a lot of film, but really learning exactly how to efficiently watch film. So yeah, stuff like that really helped me to understand the game. And even though it slowed down last season, well, it slowed down 2023 season. 2024, it really slowed down a lot for me. And just really understanding the game and being able to anticipate a lot of stuff coming. And then there's other stuff that's just like with the fumbles, I tell you, I practiced that to the point of man, my fingers begging for a break, but it's whatever. It's become with the territory for sure.
Hey, there you go, man. And I mean, you helped your team to a 9-4 overall record, 6-2 in MAC action. You guys were actually a contender to be in that MAC championship game right up to the final last week of the season. And it was kind of an interesting year overall because you guys were back and forth to start the year, but ended the season with 5 straight wins, including that bowl game win over Liberty. What would you say really clicked for the defense, the offense, everybody on that Buffalo squad to go on that run to end the 2024 season?
Our main goal was the MAC championship. We kind of dug ourselves into a hole, and we knew the only way to really get anywhere near having a chance of getting the MAC championship to get to the point where like it came down to the last week. Stuff ain't go our way, but we did what we could to put ourselves in the best situation to achieve the main goal of that MAC championship. It was really like we got a month for the rest of our lives type. Like really just lock this in right now. We don't have any time to be playing anything like that. And everybody came together because that's the main goal, and that's something we could all agree on, regardless of any differences or any type of disputes that we done had within that 2 game losing streak that kind of messed us up. But yeah, after that game, after that Ohio game, we really just had some tough conversations on what we needed to fix, and I was gonna go about that. And then we went on and fixed it. It wasn't pretty, but we for sure got those last wins and put ourselves in at least a chance. It ain't turned out how we wanted it to, but at least we ended it on a high note in Bahamas.
Definitely set you guys up for a great year here coming up in 2025. And it's a big part to the new coaching staff. Shout out to the new head coach, Pete Lembo. He came in and he did a phenomenal job, as well as your guys' DC, your linebackers coach as well, Joe Bowen. Those guys really helped get this defense on track to where you guys were one of the top defenses in that conference. Yourself and Sean Dolak, I said before, you guys were the top 2 in the country when it came to tackles. So obviously they did a phenomenal job molding you guys there. How would you say this new coaching staff was able to come in right away and help improve Buffalo overall?
And they just, I guess they had the right, well, they got the right formula. It was just, I can't really tell you exactly how they did it. I mean, I know for sure Coach Barnes is a great coach, and Coach Limbo definitely knows how to delegate at a extremely efficient level. It was a lot more time spent in like really developing each other on like a more small scale type thing, as far as like player to player, or I mean like player to coach, or smaller groups really getting more time to fully understand everything in our jobs. But we're growing, but that's the thing about this coaching staff, is it's only gonna go up.
Well, I know you're talking about the team and how there's stuff to fix. One of the things that I don't think needs to be fixed is all the high caliber plays that you made throughout this season, because you did make a lot of them. And I want to talk about some of them in a segment that I like to call Make That Play. In this segment, I'm going to talk about, some of your highlights, some of the best plays that you had throughout this season. Obviously, I had you on last year. I was watching all of your guys' games this past season, supporting you and Marcus, as well as the other guys I'm having on this season from Buffalo. And I came up with my top three plays from this past season. But obviously, you had a lot more than three. You're the guy on that field. What would you say was your top play from this past season?
Mm. I really got two because one didn't really count. So it was Akron, we were up by like 30 something in the fourth quarter. We started having a couple coverage busts. They scored 23 unanswered points. So now they're within one score. They got the ball. It's like enough for this to be the last drive and for them to score and get the 2-point conversion and tie the game, send it overtime. So the first play, they check it down to the tight end, and then I came through, shipped the ball, recovered it. It was on the way for a touchdown. And then they called the play dead for forward progress. That was probably gonna be like the highlight of my life. I really, yeah, that one, that one hurt my soul. And it was also like that would be my second fumble of the game too. And I don't know, I always wanted to get like multiple in the game because when I tell you I be punching and I just don't got no aim. But yeah, that one for sure was one of them. And also I say Ball State punched the ball off of what everybody in Buffalo would believe to be a touchback. They end up saying that he was not that the ball got out at the one, but it was like a split second before he crossed the goal line. It was just like a hustle play. That's kind of things that I really respect watching film on anybody. And then also fumbles, I really, yeah, that's something I pride myself on. But also when I watch anything like that, like when I'm watching any game, I really respect those people that can get that ball out.
Yeah, and you did that a lot this season. And those were two really good plays. I did not have them in my top three. Actually, all three of them came from the bowl game against Liberty, so I'm sure you can figure out
Yeah.
which plays they are. But the one that I have at number one, I gotta go with the first career pick six, where you just ended up reading that pass perfectly. It got a little overthrown by their QB, and you went, got it, had open space, and you took it to the house to put some points on the board for Buffalo. And then number two, your first forced fumble, because you had two in that game. You talked about getting multiple. You had two in that game. You ended up stripping the QB on a run attempt, and you could see your hand get in there and tear it out because the ball went flying. And then number three was that second forced fumble where once again the QB thought he was going to be able to get past you guys. Obviously he didn't. He thought he was going to get a touchdown. You punched it right out, landed in the end zone. Your guy recovered and ended up getting a touchback midway through the third quarter. So those three plays are what I have for Make That Play. And you took on such a big time role this season. I remember last time I had you on, you talked about there being like a rotation at that linebacker spot between you and some of the other experienced guys. How would you describe your new role for this Buffalo team under this new coaching staff? How has it changed?
I would say Coach Bourne prides this whole thing on making sure we have the best players on the field. Like basically, he's gonna put his best players on the field when it matters the most, and really fitting those 11. He's gonna make it fit. However, with those 11, that's why I talk about with Dion. We were talking about earlier before, like with Dion being like a very, very valuable piece because he can play defensive end, linebacker, and nickel at a very high level. And then people like Savion Brown as well. He can play safety, linebacker, and nickel. Just we have a lot of pieces that just can fit everywhere. And I was I'm a true Mike linebacker. I can play will as well. I played defense end throughout high school and stuff like that. But being able to help the team win, that's really all it is. I like I wouldn't consider my role much bigger than anybody else's because we're all really looking to help the team. But I know vocal leadership definitely helps us out. So I would say, yeah, I'm just doing what I can to help us win, and that's kind of what was needed. So last season it was for sure me and Dolak, but I'm not like it's not only me for sure. It's everybody out there. We got a lot of very talented people out there that to this day working so hard. So yeah, I just got the utmost respect for them. And a lot of people try to like think back to like, oh, it's just me and Dolak. Nah, we got some dogs that a lot of people don't even know their names right now. But yeah, my role, I'm just one of the 11 guys on the field trying to help us win for the most part.
There you go. And I know you guys had, I believe, 4 or 5 defensive guys named to the All MAC teams. Yourself and Dolak were on that first team All American list by Hero Sports for the group of 5, the non-Power 5 conferences. Kobe Stewart actually was a second team selection, so and also got All American honors. So your guys' defense, like you just said, had a lot of dogs. You yourself were one of the top guys, not just in the conference, but in the country, like I said before, overall on the season. 156 total tackles, 16 and a half tackles for loss, 7 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, and that pick six. So right now, you're actually ranked second in career forced fumbles with 11, just between your last 2 seasons, behind an all-time great in Buffalo history, Khalil Mack, who had 16. And I believe Sean Dolak also is up there. I believe he had the single season record for tackles in Buffalo history. So the two of you were a dynamic duo. I believe you guys were called, what was it, the Bash Bros or something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the two of you were without a doubt the best duo at that linebacker spot in the country for any level. How would you say the two of you were able to play so well together? I know you guys are very close friends. How would your guys' playing styles really mesh together to where you guys were able to produce like you did?
I mean, it all boils down to like preparation, and we butt heads a lot in practice, but that's because we all like we're truly like pushing each other to be the best that we can be and trying to like optimize our process, even if it's like the last week or a month. It's even if it's a month into the Bahamas Bowl, still trying to find a certain way to get us better. We can be in the second quarter, just things like that, and just understanding each other's play style, understanding like what when certain opportunities present themselves on film. I know certain times like he might go under a high wall block and make that play, but just in case he doesn't, which he always will. But yeah, just in case he doesn't, I know I got to be more cognizant and going over the top. We just compliment each other in a plethora of ways. Like he's a real good finesse guy, and I'm more of the I pride myself on hitting the old lineman and stuff like that as well. But like we just got yeah, our play styles really mesh very well, and then we watch film together as well to kind of get a better understanding of like how we're gonna play off of that. Like, of course, we're trying to understand the offense, but at the same time, we get a good sense of how what we're gonna do. But that also came off of so Sean and James Patterson was also like a UB great if you go through the books. Like he's a dog. JP had like 120, 130. Like had like 150. So that was insane for a lot of people that they don't pay too much attention to the small schools. But yeah, so JP was always a mentor as well. Yeah, being able to kind of build off of that, definitely got to give a lot of props to the original duo that we've kind of learned from on how to play better together.
There you go. Yeah. Dolak, no doubt in my mind, he's going to be drafted in this upcoming NFL draft. I believe he's a first round pick. If he falls past the first round, that's a steal for anybody that gets him. And obviously yourself, you're going to be a future NFL pro once you get done at the collegiate level as well. And you showcased why you're a future pro in that bowl game against Liberty. Talked about those two fumbles, obviously the pick six that you had in that game. You also ended up having 13 tackles, nine of them being solo. You had 10 games this past season where you had 10 or more tackles, including nine straight games. How would you say those big time performances, like the bowl game against Liberty, have really helped build your momentum to where people can start looking at you as a future draft prospect?
So yeah, when I get a chance, well, really anytime on the field, but especially those games like the Bahamas Bowl when it was like 4 million viewers, and the Mexican game, stuff like that, just being able to put on for really just get myself a name. But really, I don't really think too much of it. I'm just really like in my head, I'm trying to help the team win, and I'm trying to become the best player I can be. And I know with that, all those other goals will come into fruition. So it's more so kind of trying to be like process oriented in everything that I do. So I like, especially after Liberty, like when I tell you I was, a big thing I try to show love back to anybody that would text me or post me and stuff. So it was like 2 days of trying to respond and everything. But yeah, like I can definitely tell that my name's kind of ringing a lot more than it did within the last year.
For sure, man. And you're going to be returning as one of, if not the main piece for this defense this upcoming season. Obviously, you're bringing back some great guys like Kobe Stewart, Deion Crawford, Solomon Brown is returning for his sixth or seventh year at the college level. But you guys are losing pieces like Sean Dolak, Marcus Fuqua, who's been the starting safety there for a while, who he as well was an All-American in the past. So you're the guy that's obviously there. You guys have had some workouts already. You see the pieces that are coming in that some people may not have heard of already. What is your vision for this Buffalo defense entering next season?
Like I said earlier, we got a lot of areas we need to fix, but when I tell you the future is bright, like this isn't just on some everybody's going to speak good about their team. Like I truly and genuinely believe this. You feel me? Got people like Dolak and I mean we got people like Fuqua, Solomon, Jalen that are in front of Ronell Davis. He's a freshman safety who's extremely athletic and a dog. Like when I tell you he looks skinny, but he'll come in like real deal, try to knock out a 230 pound running back. Or John Keogh, who was a dog on special teams for us this year. But we have a lot of really young guys that are ready to step in that role right now. Then our transfers, somebody I've been with a lot because we got the same class as well, and we in the same weight rack. Connor Henderson, he's a transfer linebacker from North Texas. He graduated from Cornell. We just got injured last year, but dog, like when I tell you like we really have people that like they fit into the culture as well, and the culture is just trying to better ourselves and truly understand the system as deeply as possible, and being able to put in as much extra work as possible to be the best that we can be and win that match championship, even if it's only February, December 7th, 9th, whenever that is, that we gonna be there.
Hey, there you go, man. And obviously, this is the second time I've had you on. I've had Marcus on a couple of times. Got to have Kobe Stewart on already this season. Looking to have quite a few more Bulls on the podcast. And I want you to give me some recommendations on who I should have on the podcast in a little segment that I like to call Who's Up Next. In this segment, you give me however many names I should look out to, reach out to have on the podcast this season and next season. Two rules, though, one of which you got to help me get them on, which you've done with some of your teammates already. I appreciate that. And number two, you got to give me at least one name where they were not with Buffalo this past season.
Okay, so I don't know if it'll specifically be the next year, but I'll definitely say Demetrius Ballard. He probably has one of the highest potentials of anybody on the team. He's a freshman defensive end. He's a freak, like a yeah, athletic freak. He's going to be really good. As far as ne next season for sure, Savion Brown. Oh my God, I hate how underrated and disrespected he is. He ended up getting injured last in the middle of last season, but yes, he's going to be he is very good, and he's going to be able to really showcase that next season for sure. We're going to use him in a plethora of ways, and he really has a good chance to show his abilities. When I tell you that he's definitely up next, you already know Dion. You know Jalen McNair.
The name rings a bell.
Yes, sir. He's number 8. He started nickel for us 2023. He ended up getting injured a little bit later in the season. But yes, he had a really good season last year as well. He's also one of those people that he can play literally corner to nickel to any one of those safety positions. Dog. All right, I told you about Rydell. Well, let me get off the defense. I can talk about that for a while. LJ, you got LJ? You know about
RJ,
LJ?
he is on my list to reach out to. I have reached out to him, haven't heard back yet. I would love to get him on.
Yeah, that's one for sure. Oh, Nick McMillan. Absolutely, Nick McMillan. Wide
He got
receiver.
hurt after the first game, right?
Yes, sir. Well, he got hurt midway through Missouri. I think like third quarter.
Okay. Yeah, I know
Yes,
there's a
sir.
lot of high potential for him. I loved what he did against
Oh,
Lafayette.
yeah. Absolute dog. And Victor Snow.
Oh yeah, he
That's our
rising
leading
star on that
receiver.
offense.
Yes, sir. And I really respect how effective he is in special teams. Even with him being the leading receiver, he any task that we give him, he does not care. He's gonna go out there and do it. Like he stepped in as our gunner, I think after week 5 versus UConn. And yeah, he if you go look at the numbers, helped it out a lot. He's a dog.
There you go.
Um, man, we got a lot. Like I'm not
That's a lot
even
of Buffalo guys right there. How about somebody that wasn't with Buffalo this past season?
I haven't got a chance to get that much to get that familiar with the guys as far as like on the field. I definitely got a lot of respect for Connor so far, Connor Henderson, linebacker coming from North Texas, and also somebody I think that would be Deontay Bradley. He's a really long, really fast linebacker. I mean cornerback from Arizona State,
All right, there you
and
go.
he's really young as well.
Nice. Those are a lot of great names. I obviously recognize a lot of those Buffalo names watching you guys play this past season, so I can't wait to get a lot more of them on. And now that we've talked about who's up next, got to talk about what's next for yourself. We've talked about the team as a whole, but you yourself, you're looking to still grow your game. We saw the production increase over the past couple of years alone, how you've managed to always find a way to take that next step up. What would you say is that next step entering 2025 to where you can continue to grow?
Honestly, I'm nowhere near my potential at all. I'm not the cleanest right now, so I'm really just making sure I can clean up my play, move a lot more efficiently. And there's some glaring areas of my game that I need to work on that I'm definitely already on that. But yeah, it's even if the stats don't necessarily show as much, the game is going to be a lot more efficient and a lot cleaner. So I'm definitely excited for next season. I got a lot of areas that I'm very cognizant that I need to work on, and I'm definitely being very consistent on working on that. So
There
yeah,
you go.
it's gonna be even better than last year for sure.
There you go, man. Whole lot more wins, whole lot more accolades for you coming in next season. Hopefully, ending the year holding up that MAC championship trophy. So, beyond happy to have you on once again, man. You are always one of my favorite interviews, mainly because I still find it ironic that your name is red and you're playing for a blue team. We talked about it last time. I always find it funny. So, keep doing your thing, man. Go off, be another All-American next year in 2025 for the Bulls, and keep getting those wins, man.
Absolutely, thank you.